Blokesworld's Lap of Kyushu, Japan is proudly brought to you by EDI Customs.
G'day viewers and welcome back to the awesome episode of Blokesworld. Yep, I'm still in Japan and I've made my way over to the west coast. I'm about an hour north of Nagasaki at a theme park called Huis Bosch, which is basically the Japanese have built themselves a life-size replica of Amsterdam. Canals, windmills, the train station, everything. This is what you're going to see on this episode. Stick around.
Viewers, you're in luck. I've made a good episode this week. This week I probably have my biggest day of driving and I leave the town of Beppu and make my way across the country to Nagasaki. As well as that, we'll be heading back to Yokohama for the Mooneyes Hot Rod and Customs show and speak to an absolute legend Australian, Kyle Smith. As well as that, I'll be checking out Nagasaki. Anyway, let's kick off this episode when I go to Huis Bosch, a Japanese theme park where the Japanese have built a life-size replica of the city of Amsterdam.
G'day viewers and welcome to Amsterdam. I know exactly what you're all thinking back at home. And no, there's no coffee shops here and there's no girls in the window. But I'll tell you what, everything else, including the boat ride, it's all pretty legit. What an absolutely awesome idea for a fun park, eh? No licensing fees, no franchise fees. I mean, if it's Disneyland, you'd be paying all that money to Walt Disney, but you can rip off a country's buildings, I guess, and not have to pay any royalties. It's so cool. Amsterdam in Japan. Viewers, this place is to spec. Absolute spec. Oh, look at that, they've even got the cathedral. Why go to Europe when you can bring Europe to yourself? Clever. I would have just loved to have been at the meeting when they said, hey, I've got an idea. We're going to build a fun park. We won't have to pay any licensing. We won't have to pay any rights to do it. We'll just rip off a country and build it right in the middle of nowhere. So you can come here without going to Europe. So good. Oh man. Viewers, I'll be honest with you, when I saw this on the net, I thought it might be about 5 or 6 buildings. I knew they did the big job on the train station, but this is legit its own city. Hey? Oh, you got to give it to the Japanese. They're so smart. Instead of hanging around all day with your kids trying to get on the merry-go-round, why don't you just build one that's 3 stories high? Look at that. That is awesome. Oh, I've just come around the corner and everyone's come out of a building. There must have been a musical on. I thought I was the only one here. Apparently not. I'm definitely the only Westerner here though. I haven't seen one other tourist. They keep looking at me like I'm a novelty. Probably think I'm Dutch. Look how well dressed everyone is. Probably the scruffiest one in this park.
Well viewers, I've been burning daylight all day, so after checking out Amsterdam, I only had an hour left before the Nagasaki Bio Park closed. So I hightailed over there. I wanted to meet a capybara. It's been on my bucket list. I must admit viewers, never been a massive fan of zoos, but this place is a biopark where virtually all the animals are just cruising around and the ones that bite you got signs because guess what? Common sense is alive and well in Japan.
How good is it? No cage. Do what you want. Yeah. Righto guys, I gotta go. The bio park closes in about 5 minutes and I haven't seen a staff member for about 10 minutes and there's a good chance that I could get locked in here tonight, which I wouldn't mind if it wasn't for the temperature. So capybara, so awesome to meet you. Stay chilled. I know you will. Wow, what an absolutely awesome experience that was, eh? That was so cool. And check it out. I've got the zoo to myself. I have no idea where all the people are in Japan. Where have you all gone? Are you skiing up north or Is there a party that I don't know about? There is just no one around. It's like I'm one of those rich people that hire the zoo to themselves. Anyway, see you after this commercial break.
G'day viewers and welcome back to Blokesworld. If you've just joined us, I'm in Japan and right now let's head to Yokohama for the Mooneyes Hot Rod and Customs Show to speak to an absolute Australian legend.
Oh, viewers, Bigfoot would be easier to find than this legend, and I'm here with him right now. Kyle, welcome to Blokesworld.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Mate, thanks for your patience, and I did hit record this time.
We got it.
We're
we got
looking
it.
at professional
Second
television.
take, we're good.
Oh, Blokesworld, do you think after 23 years I'd get it sussed, eh? Now, you're the man responsible for the paintwork on this.
Yeah, no, it seemed that way. Yeah, a lot of hours, a lot of time went into this. You know, head to toe flames. Let's do it. That was the brief.
And you know one of the things that blew me away? No stencils. You did this thing completely freehand, eh?
Yeah, no stencils. You know, you map it out on one side. It's all tape. So you sort of come up with your concept, one side of the car. We drew it out, rough sketch, you know, but the main brief for this car was cover it front to back in flames.
And that's what I was going to ask. So when you're doing a paint job like this, is there a starting point?
It's always down the middle of the car. So middle of the car and then work your way out and down. You know, you got to have the flow of the flames. So started on the bonnet on this one and then work down the side of the car, roof all the way back. So yeah.
Awesome. And I guess with a job like this, everything comes down to prep work, eh?
It does, mate. Yeah, it does. Look, it needs to be right underneath. So everything from metal, epoxies, your primers, so on, all that has to be done spot on. You know, you can lay this stuff down, but if it's not right underneath, you're going to come back with huge dramas afterwards. So it's about what's underneath, which is the key to a nice paint job. So
yeah, awesome. Awesome. So when we're looking at this, what would have been a base of a black?
Yeah, so black went down first. So we used black primers on this as well. So black primers into black base coat. House of Colour were the sponsors on this one. So covered in House of Colour products. Big shout out to House of Colour, America, Australia. Huge products that we used on this. They came to the party and we just came up with a custom colour. It's a one-off root beer, which has a bit of an olive flip to it as well. So came up with a name for it. Me and Jason, we sort of locked that away, did a couple of spray outs. From there, it was time for the colour. So orange flames, tangerine, metal flake, red tips.
Ah, mate, absolutely awesome. And I've just got to ask, you know, when you're starting work, can you drink coffee doing this sort of work?
Oh, look, couple. I don't mind me coffee. You know, it's good. It's good to wake up in the morning with a couple of coffees. But when that brush goes in the hand, mate, it's game on. So waters to tone that out, and then into it.
Mate, awesome. So this is what you do for a job, eh? You do this full time?
It is, yeah. It's my business. Yeah, it's been a business for about 13 years now, full time.
Awesome. And what's the name of the business?
Smith Concepts Custom Paint. So based out Northern Beaches, Sydney. Yeah, you know, we're in about 400 square metres.
Are you Smith Concepts?
Yeah,
I've seen heaps of your work at Andy's Hot Rod Show.
That's the one, yeah. We're there every year. We've got a trade stall booth set up there. You know, Andy and Donna have been huge supporters of our work over the years, so we're always happy to come to the party, take cars there and represent what we do. So
yeah, oh man, I had no idea that was you.
Yeah.
Man, I've been a massive fan of your work, eh?
Oh, mate, fanboy, and I appreciate it.
Man, that car that you had that lowrider sort of thing in the front doorway there for a couple of years.
We do a lot of lowriders. We try and sort of produce one every year for the Hot Rod and Custom Show there. You know, it's been a major thing to try and get a car to this show as well.
Yep.
So, you know, the whole process from talking about it with Jason to completing the whole mission has been amazing, you know, from friends, you know, customer to friends to what it's become today. It's just been a massive thing. So
Well, you're kind of like a football team, aren't you?
we are,
The forwards and backs.
Yeah, there's a few of us here, and it's a team effort. You know, that's what I have to say. It's not one person. You know, yeah, it might look pretty on the outside, but my blokes in the shop, Jason, the crew, the guys we got on the ground here in Japan, we couldn't do it without them. You know, that's the biggest thing. Is it's like definitely not a solo mission. You know, I've got to pay full credit, full respect to everyone that's been involved in this, and a massive group. Thanks to our sponsors as well who've come on board. It's massive. Without them, we couldn't do this. Couldn't be here. So.
Ah, Kyle Smith, what an absolute legend. And we'll have more of our chat with Kyle when we come back after these messages. But before we go, I want to have a quick chat about driving in Japan. I had more fun in the car just as much as I did out. It is such an awesome country to drive a car in. What happens when you rent a car in Japan, they'll insert an ETC card into the dash, and that will open up every boom gate on every highway. And when you return the car, that's when you pay for your tolls. And I'll tell you what, some of the best tunnels and engineering and roads I've ever driven in my life. Other things like pulling into a servo and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, how am I going to understand what this Bowser is and how am I going to pump gas? Well, don't worry about that, because as soon as you pull in, a Formula One pit crew comes from nowhere and they're cleaning your window, your headlights, checking for oil and filling her up. Absolutely awesome, and they're available for a selfie. No worries, we'll see you for more Blokesworld after these messages. G'day viewers and welcome back to Blokesworld. I'm in Japan in Nagasaki, meeting and hanging out with some of the locals, as well as that some local Australians that have come here to show their cars. Let's head back now to Mooneyes Hot Rod and Custom Show to continue our chat with the legend himself, Kyle Smith.
It must be such a good feeling to see all your work sitting in the shed, being on the other side of the planet and just seeing people drool over it, eh?
It is. It's you know, we've had a thing, me and Jason, this weekend. It's surreal, you know, like it just doesn't feel real. You know, it was one thing to sort of dream about having something here, to then fulfill the dream and have it, get it here safe was one thing. You know, we never thought in 100 years that it would be as respected and well received as what it's been. And then, to come in here this morning and pick up Best Custom, you know, I just cannot believe it.
That is awesome, eh? It's so good.
Totally honoured.
So good. And I reckon it's great. Volcom getting involved in hot rods.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
That blew me away.
Yeah, mate, they have been backing me for years now. I work with a really good mate of mine, Shane Azar, and Timmy down there, the whole Volcom crew in Australia, Japan here as well. We did a little bit of a collaboration as well, Ken the Flat Top. We've had shirts. Everyone's come to the party on this one. It's just been absolutely amazing. I cannot thank the whole crew involved. Volcom Workwear and what they do, and busting into this market, you know, surf, skate, snow brand, branching out into this, you know, and sticking behind it and backing me as well. I can never say thanks enough.
Oh, mate, I think that's a great thing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So this is obviously not your first time to Mooneyes?
No, I've been here about 10 times now, which is just amazing. First time I came here, it opened my eyes to what they do here, and they do so well. And especially custom paint, modifying cars. You know, in my eyes, they do it better than anyone. You know, it's amazing. You look around this show, and it's next level, absolutely next levels. From the Harleys, the old shovel heads, they just do it right. So I come here, I looked at that, and I went home and I went, you got to up your game. You know, you're not doing it right. So back to the drawing boards and just tried to get a little bit better to where we are here today. And mate, this was the benchmark to try and do this in my lifetime and have a car here with my artwork on it, and something that we've been involved with. Mate, I'll never forget it. Amazing.
Mate, it's awesome. And whereabouts is your? Where do you call home? Whereabouts is the? Workshop?
Sydney, Northern Beaches. Been a hardboard freshie boy my whole life.
Same here. That's where when I lived in Sydney, hardboard diggers, mate.
So, mate, on the old freshie crew, mate, freshwater board riders as well. Big
serious?
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
Awesome.
So sort of grew up surf, skate, that whole sort of scene, and then it was artwork for me, you know. So dropped out of school, year 9 dropout, mate. Went into artwork.
That is absolutely awesome. Oh, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm not even going to shake your hand. I'll give you knuckles, though. Those things are worth $1 million.
Really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys. Bloody awesome.
No worries. I'll be seeing you soon. I'll pop down to the shop.
Anytime, mate. You're welcome. Come on down.
Thanks.
Thanks, legend.
Here's just another little Japanese thing I love. Whenever you get on a plane here, all the crew that lugged in your luggage all stand there and wave goodbye and bow as you leave. That is so awesome. Man, they are just the best people over here. Anyway, right now it's that time of the show where I talk about my accommodation. And if you've been watching the previous episodes, you would have seen I got to stay at the Sheraton Grand Resort for $146 a night with parking and breakfast. And then the following day, I thought I'd go the other end of the spectrum, and I stayed in Beppu at a $60 hotel, which was still ripping. So right now, let's find the middle ground. Let's find out what $85 will get you in Nagasaki. So here we have my room. So this is $85 a night. I didn't film it last night before I actually trashed the place and emptied it. But check it out. I've got so much space in here. $85 a night, includes parking and breakfast. Oh, it's just amazing value. And for the first time on this trip, I've got a balcony. So I could look at Nagasaki port. Alright viewers, I've scoured the entire stadium and there's not one person in this stadium having a beer. I don't want to be the first, or do I? Find out after these messages. G'day viewers, got some good news, bad news for you. Bad news is we've got to go to a commercial break. But the good news is I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, EDI International Freight Management Company. They're an absolute legend bunch of blokes that really help Blokesworld out and help us keep us on the air. But you want to know what they do? It's absolutely awesome. If you go to something like the Pomona Swap Meet over in America, where everyone buys their old shells and their old hot rods, they will actually get it on a truck, get it shipped to San Francisco, get all your customs, asbestos, all your clearance paperwork. They'll get it in a container. Their containers are next level. They'll get it shipped right here to Brisbane. They'll get it on a truck and get sent to you. It's an absolutely awesome thing. Now, the other thing is, if you can't make it overseas, what they do is they have scouts over there. So if you find a car, they can actually send other scouts out there to take a stack more photos, have a real good hard look at the car and the body, just in case you don't always get to see that stuff in photos. As well as that, if there's a car out there and you haven't found it, you can let them know, hey, I'm after a Mustang, or I'm after an old F100, and they'll go out there and with their contacts, they'll be able to find you one. They're an Australian company, they're absolutely awesome, they're based here in Brisbane and they're top blokes. Check them out online today. And welcome back to Blokesworld. If you just joined us, I'm in Japan. I'm in the fantastic city of Nagasaki. Soccer season doesn't start until June, but this is the Women's League. And they're pulling a big crowd. And to answer your question, yes, I am the only person in here drinking beer. And these things I'm in love with. They're kind of like a pork bun. I don't know, pork bun meets a taco. Anyway, right now, let's go. All right, today on the menu, it's Hiroshima versus Kobe. I'm going to go and hang out with the Hiroshima crew. They're the loudest. Peace Stadium, what a cracking stadium. And right now I'm about to head to Peace Park. It's a fantastic city. They've named everything virtually after the word peace, considering everything this town has gone through. It's pretty amazing. G'day viewers, I'm going to keep my voice down a bit because I'm in Peace Park, a place of remembrance for all the locals who lost their grandparents and so forth when the atomic bomb was dropped here.
On August 6, 1945, the world experienced its first use of nuclear weapons when the U.S. dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan during World War II. The explosion instantly killed over 140,000 people and devastated the city. This act, along with the bombing of Nagasaki 3 days later, led to Japan's surrender and the end of World War II.
It's kind of a sad place. I plan on coming back here next year and bringing my dad, Camera 83. And if you're not aware, my dad worked on the ground crew in Maralinga and Woomera and is an Australian nuclear veteran. So places like Nagasaki and Hiroshima are places that he really wants to come to. If you want to know more about my dad's life, we've actually got his book on sale on our website at blokesworld.com. It's a story about how he was an orphan and was raised in the orphanages in WA in the 50s, joined the Air Force, got transferred to Maralinga, then Woomera, and then became a diplomat for the Australian government. Was posted everywhere from Chile to Russia. It's a great read. The brilliance. It skipped a generation in my family, believe me. I'm the letdown. It's a real reminder what a bastard of a thing war is. All right, viewers, that's all we got time for this week. We'll see you next week for more Blokesworld, where I'll still be here in Japan. Don't know if you can hear the noise they make. It's awesome. Oh, now you're not making it because we're on television, eh? Never work with capybaras. We'll see you next week for more Blokesworld. That's it, get your side on shot. Yeah? Oh, you are just the best.